All right, let's go. Go.
I'd like to say this is live, but it's not live. I'm doing this on Saturday morning. For my birthday, my birthday was Thursday, we're heading to Detroit, and we're going to go to see a concert. I'm taking my wife to a concert because, you know, she fell asleep during the ZZ Top concert. She fell asleep during the Steely Dan concert. Let's take her to, ready? The opera. We're going to the opera. I got tickets to Handel's Xerxes. Love Handel. So I'm really excited about this. Obviously, she's super excited because I'm taking her to the opera. Actually, she doesn't mind. She'll probably fall asleep, but we're going to stay overnight downtown Detroit. We are going to dress up. We're going to go out to eat, and we'll probably go to a casino afterwards. That's why she's going. I'm going because we're going to the opera, so this will be fun. So, hey, welcome to a recording. And welcome to the Early Morning Sunday Show. Just dodged a huge snowstorm. So the opening is this guy, he was cross-country skiing, and his dog was pulling him. And man, talk about going fast. He was trying to train the dog how to do this. He used to do it with huskies. Because the problem is that this dog's a hunter. So the dog's pulling him along, and all of a sudden he smells something. The dog wants to veer into the woods, pulling this guy, so he's trying to train him. I thought, you know, why can't Cat do this for me? I should just have him, you know, put him on something and let him pull me on cross-country skis. But he's a lazy ass. No, I guess he's not going to do it. So, oh well, it's the way it is. Real quick, I should be able to get, I'm going to try to put a link. If not, there's going to be a video for Speaker's Corner. This is Jeff's speech. And he has, on there, there's a link for a GoFundMe. Rod the Happy Hippie. Well, I would say all of you know Rod the Happy Hippie. His wife has skin cancer, and they're going through the treatments, and it's getting very expensive. And so there's a GoFundMe to help him. Rod's taking albums, he's starting to sell them to help pay for it. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so it would be, you know, if you have anything you want to help out, please do. I just know Vinyl Community helped me out after my flood. It's incredible what you did. And I mean, I still feel that in this collection is from the Vinyl Community. So I will have that out there. Podcast, we're going to do another one. This week's will be 50th anniversary of Pink Floyd. And we got a little something with that, so we're going to do that. And first one went okay. Have a drinking game. Every time I said absolutely, if you took a drink, you would be on the floor by the end. I said that word so often, so it's like, well, okay, what else should I say all the time to give you a drinking game? And yeah, my birthday was this past week, and here's a picture of what Cat gave me. Isn't that cute? Yeah, right. Great. Whole big house, 3 floors, goes and pukes in one of my shoes. Super, super duper. So let's begin. Let's begin with a classic. Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is known for 4 things. It's known for Hamm's beer, Schlitz beer, Pabst beer, Violent Femmes. Okay, there might be a few other things, but let's face it, the first 3, that is Milwaukee. Okay, the Violent Femmes, they formed in 79, broke up in 81. They actually started as a percussive duo. It was Brian Ritchie on bass. That's Lionel Richie's brother, in case you didn't know. And Brian Ritchie on bass, and Victor De Lorenzo on percussion. And they were they're doing busking. and just busking around Milwaukee, because that's a great place to do it. And they got the attention. I believe this was around, what was it, in 1981. James Honeyman Scott was in town. Well, the Pretenders were, and James Honeyman Scott was out there, the guitarist, and heard them busking. Go, hey, these guys are really good. Got hold of Chrissy Hine, and they opened their show in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Coliseum. And the rest is history. 10 studio albums, 15 singles. But this is their first one. It came out in 1983. And this has a real geeky feel to it, I would have to say, in the vocals. The vocals are like Jonathan Richman, very similar to that. And this is their first recording, and I think by far their best recording. The vinyl on Slash Records, and I believe there's a little inner sleeve here. This is a nice original. And look at all those words, man! And it's in cursive. So you can't, it's like, who reads cursive anymore? Whatever happened to cursive writing? Does anybody still do? I mean, everyone seems just to print anymore. I don't. When I write cursive, I have to figure out how the hell do you make a Z again? Okay, so this came out in '83, and again, this has the hit "Blister in the Sun," and then I mean it's their self-titled album, Violent Flames. So "Blister in the Sun," wonderful song. It was their big hit, and you can hear it on the radio. It's about compulsive masturbation. Then there is the song "Prove My Love." That's about compulsive cunnilingus. There is a song about Add It Up. It's about how involuntary celibacy can make you homicidal. Yes, this deals with a lot of sex. Okay. Jeez, I mean, it's pretty crazy. There's the Gone Daddy Gone, which is a really cool song. It just has this real springy guitar going. You do have something like Good Feelings, where how it finishes up, which is a romantic ballad for these guys. Not sure. It has to be something about sex in it. So, but this is such a great album, an alt classic, college radio rock classic from the 80s, from 1983. I just did this. My midweek was my favorite albums from 1982. Going on, start pulling for 1983. There we go. Next album from the 90s, we have Tripping Daisy, which is still just one of the stupidest covers I've ever seen. But this is a classic. This was some VCLT from Jim Gleason, Radio Wasteland. He loves this album. And we've talked about it, and I used to have it on CD, but it never made an impact on me. And he goes, no, you're missing out. And so he gave me some VCLT. He says, you have to listen to this. And it's really, really good. So Tripping Daisies, it came out of Dallas in 1990. It broke up in 99 when their guitarist, Briggan died of drugs. It is more kind of, I don't know, I guess you could almost like a new psych pop band, alt rock type music. I Am a Elastic Firecracker came out in 1995, and it's their second album. It's just, could someone not have, I guess there's a great reason for the artwork, and I didn't dig in to find out why the artwork's that way. We have pictures, words, the usual. Yeah, he's got a little something Violent Femmes would enjoy. Okay, so This is, it's kind of music in the vein of Flaming Lips. That might be where you might kind of start falling into that. It's a little hyperactive, psych, pop, rock type music. It takes off. It's going really, really fast, and then it kind of shifts to a lower gear. There is the hit song, I Got a Girl, which is just a great, this guy just bragging, talking about his girlfriend. This girlfriend, she's so great, and how he loves this girlfriend. And then the very last line is, his girlfriend has a boyfriend. And it's not him. But, now this is a song where it kind of starts quiet, and then when it hits the chorus, it just explodes. Great song. Very enjoyable. And, these drums just blast away on that thing. It's a heavy guitar rocking band, but it has pop sensibility. And, and Jim, thank you very much. There's no doubt I probably just would have kept passing this up just because there's so much out there. But I really did miss out on this, and it's very, very good. So this is a recent reissue. I Am an Elastic Firecracker, Trippin' Daisies. Broccopy Dub, Paul Broccopy Dub, in his Best of 2022, had this album on it, Velveteen, and it is called Empty Crush from Velveteen. And I couldn't find a whole lot about this group. They're out of London. They formed in 2012, and they've done 7 LPs. The music, the album is very purpley. The music, it's shoegaze, but there's elements of, you can probably hear a little bit of maybe a little post-punk in there. Definitely a lot of dream pop, and even some noise rock is going on with this. The melody, it's shoegaze with melody. Oftentimes shoegaze has this wall of sound happening. There's the shoegaze elements, but there's much more. It's warm, it's atmospheric. It has kind of the lush feel of dream pop. It was very enjoyable. Paul, Broccopy Dub always plays samples, and this really caught my attention. And so I went out to try to get it, because a lot of the albums that are his favorites are obscure and hard to get. But I was able to get this thing. I'm really happy I did. So Take a listen to the sample. I don't have any track that was like, wow, this is great, because this kind of music kind of blends in together. And it's just, you listen to it all together. It's like a singles type of an album. So Velveteen, Empty Crush, worth a listen. Last week I did Surfa Rosa, and there was a sticker on her naked breasts, and I totally missed out on talking about this. And I've always prided myself on being the soft porn channel of the VC. So I present to you to make this up, Fela Kuti. And now there is like all kinds of women that there's a lot of breasts on this. Let's just say that. This is the 50th anniversary of Fela Kuti's great album, Shakura. And it's part of this reissue campaign that's going on. Let's take off that little hype sticker there. There's Fela. And it's been exciting to get some of these. There's only 2 songs on here. 2 songs, each around 13 minutes. And they're sung in English. And Kuti, he's the James Brown of Africa. I think you could say that. So the first song on here is Lady. And Lady, it's his humorous critique of women wanting to be more Western, dress Western, and feminism. Wasn't big on feminism because he was working on having 70 wives, and would feminism really go good with that? Probably not. So that was his take about that. But there is such this irresistible groove and beat. And on Fela Kuti album, on his singles, again, they go on for a long time because it's about dancing. The first half, 7, 8 minutes, it's just pure groove. And that'll be the sample. You're going to hear that groove going on. And it's incredible. And so, when you think of live African music, it's about that rhythm that happens. And that's what you get off this. But it's just this organ, the sax, the guitar. It's just the percussion. Great, great stuff. The second one is Shakura. And that's sung in English and Yoruba, probably saying it wrong, but that is more the language that was spoken by Kuti in Nigeria. And that one is, it's a song about, he's making fun of people, pompous people, he says, that have loud mouths, and they're braggarts who make all these promises and never deliver on them. So that's what he talking about. It is just, again, it's about the groove. You get the vocals in the second half, but man, it just starts. So if you like brass, you'll like the album cover. If you like groove, you will like the album cover. Well, not the album cover, you're going to like the music in here. It is great. This was a fantastic album. I should have shown look at this vinyl. Wowzers. Isn't that something? And the inner sleeve. All right, there we go. Great stuff from Fela Kuti. As we know, it's I have more music from him than almost any other artist. Now, into the realm of psych, we have this, the Electronic Hole. There's a cool name for it, the Electronic Hole. And this was a group by Phil Pearlman. And he was trying to assemble a band in 1969. And so he was auditioning people for the new band. And this is what, he would use the Electronic Hole as the name of what, he would be testing them out for these auditions, I guess. And it's 2 songs that are divided into a lot of different parts. It is a very heavy psych sound that is going on with this. There's guitar and organ. There's even some sitar, which again, great sitar, but it sounds good. And, I think there's even a harp, I believe, if I remember right. There's a harp that's played in this, which is really odd for this kind of music. The vocals, they're kind of mellow and they're sweet sounding. The second side of this had more heavy riffing and more noise rock, it sounded really, really neat. The guitars, they get really fuzzy and hard. At times, so fuzzy, so hard that you can't even hear the vocals. They begin to drown them out. The production isn't like the best. This is heavy, psyched out, Velvet Underground influenced avant-garde type music. You think the first, John Cale, when he was in the Velvet Underground, you have that kind of fuzz going on this. Nothing special on the label. And I do not believe, was there an inner sleeve on this? And nope, nothing. It would have been nice. Oh, I do have, no, that's the sales receipt. It would have been nice if there would have been more added in, just some extras to talk about this, because it's pretty obscure. But the electronic hole, see what you think of that.
Everybody feels the time, everybody knows the way. Everybody feels the sun, everybody feels the way.
90s classic. Here was a CD. So I talked about the 90s. I had all these CDs. I wasn't listening to everything. This one caught my attention. It's a Shame About Ray. And I didn't know it was really reissued till saw Hannah on the Omaha Introvert telling about her favorite albums of last year, her reissues. And this is one she brought out. And I go, well, damn, I love that album. So I went out and was able to find it. So the Lemonheads, another Boston band. Boston, man, they have some great bands. Formed in 86, broke up in 97. Evan Dando is the main member of this. And it was more, when he started, he was much more punk rock. He was kind of a punk oriented. That's what he was looking at. And his original band he called the Whelps. But then he changed it. He wanted, let's get a different name. And he changed it to the name of a box of candy called the Lemonheads. Now, maybe there's something else. Do you put LSD? Don't you put LSD on Lemonheads or something? There's got to be some drug influence if it's Evan Dando. I mean, it just got to be. You know, he quit college. And he got he got signed on to Tang Records. And they put out some albums, but in 1990 he had an album that just sank. His last one, it sank, called Lovely. He went to Australia to write music, because if you're failing in life, you go to Australia, because it was made by, convicts and stuff, and it showed, hey, you can make a new life for yourself, and that's what he's going to do. I'm not sure if he met Ben Rankin down there, if he talked to Mike, but maybe he did. Maybe Mike helped him with this. I don't know. But if you haven't ever check out Ben Rankin's channel, by the way. So he wrote It's a Shame About Ray, and he came back. And he brought in Julia Hatfield. So Julia Hatfield joined the band on bass and vocals. And that really makes a big difference, I think, on this album. So it is just, the band eventually broke up because of crack cocaine. Yay, crack cocaine. But this is their best album. I believe it's their fifth album, and it came out in 92. And it's a blend of like punk pop. I guess you could say there's jangle pop in here, folk rock. It's all kind of melded in there. There's just these sunny melodies and incredible hooks. Just the song It's a Shame About Ray. It's just a beautiful song. It's accessible, and it is super catchy. There's also My Drug Buddy, kind of a foreshadowing of things to come. The original, I had originally on CD. It was just a little over 30 minutes long. This is the 2-album set, because what they do is they add in these different, they add in the demo recordings and essential extras, which include, they did the song Simon and Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson. And they redid that for a movie. And it became hugely popular. Probably one of their most popular things. I keep hitting the cat with this, but that's his fault. Make a picture of Dando, Evan Dando. And there we go. This is a great album. I really love this album, and I still really like this album. The extras are actually good, especially, I think, the demo's not as important, but to get Mrs. Robinson was really, really neat. So, great album from a band that could have been, there's the right sticker. Ta-da! For those that get off on that. And nice car. Shame About Ray. 50th anniversary of Pink Floyd. Hey, see you later, cat. This is a... You got a little tail there, man. This is just another concert. This came out from Wembley from 1974, live at Liverpool. This is a fantastic sounding live album. It is really good. I got a lot of, again, if you watched that video I did about all the different groups I have, you know, Pink Floyd ranks high up there. The Silver, like the moon. Look at that. It's just like the moon. Nothing else special in here. Great. They do the Dark Side of the Moon, side 1, 2, and 3, and on side 4 they do Echoes. So you can't get better than this. Sounds incredible. This is a great pickup. Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon, live at Empire Pool, Wembley, England, 1974. You see it there? Oh, you can see it there. If you like Pink Floyd, you want something really good, get this thing. Sounds great. Happy 50th anniversary. Listen to our podcast. Finally, we got the Urban Verbs. This was recommended to me by a viewer like you. Someone put in the comments, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, but you said you need to check out the Urban Verbs, and I did. I can't check out everything. I usually stream everything you guys give me. I will stream, I listen to once in a while. If I have the money, I go buy it. And I bought this. And so this group came out of Washington, D.C., formed in 77, broke up in 82. It's kind of a blend of the Doors and Talking Heads. You can hear it all. You can hear it all in there. They performed in CBGB's in 1978. They were with the Cramps, performing, with them. Brian Eno heard them, said, hey, let's do some singles. Did a couple singles. Nothing happened. Back out there trying to make a living. They're still, they were performing with the B-52s, Pere Ubu. Finally, Warner Brothers heard them, did a 2-album deal. And this was, I believe, their first album. And it's called something. And, maybe it's their self-titled album. Okay. Could be the first album here. But came out in this one came out in 1979, and it is just, it's interesting. It's good. It's really different. They had scheduled a tour, going to promote this album. They were going to tour, and they were touring with Joy Division in 1979, and then Curtis killed himself, so sank their tour, kind of sank their career with that. But what you get on here is the lead singer. The lead singer's name is Roddy France. Roddy France. His brother is Chris France from the Talking Heads. Again, the vocal style is David Byrne-ish, shall we say. But there's this darker, it's quirkier, it's really kind of different, but it's really, really neat. There's some very neat songs. I'll play you one called Frenzy on here. It's new wave with a dash of punk thrown into it. Frantic, chaotic, kind of cool. Urban Verbs. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for hanging in here. Midweek, I don't know. Maybe I think I want to do more albums that I used to have that I brought back in my collection. Why not? Cheers. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.